So how quick do you think it is? Because we're live.
I'm gonna guess like right at 35 or 40 minutes.
Wow. So you think it's
We
gonna
can
be a
drag some
long?
things out.
You're like it's gonna be quick. Average time. I was like, it's gonna be quick. 17 minutes. Because we got a whole 5 interesting topics. Yay us. Everything from Bing is no longer Bing anymore. It's now Google Chrome. Not quite. Minecraft has some exciting features, which I have yet to even hear about. So that's actually kind of
I
cool.
can inform you.
Right? I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's say we did just put a link in there, hoping that I already knew everything.
Nope, that one I actually watched the video for.
Sweet. Google Pixel 5 versus the iPhone. Someone made a nice little spec sheet, and it's pretty interesting. Spotify, which I have a story on this one.
Okay.
And it's making it easier for you to find songs, which could have been a feature 3 days ago. That would have been great. And then 5 tricks in Google Maps. This one we will drag out for 20 minutes. Don't worry about that.
Sweet. Before we get into any topics, do you have the updated stream key for me? It should start with an A.
It starts with an A, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it matches that in the doc.
Sweet. Perfect.
All right, cool.
All right. Starting off with the most boring article I've ever seen in my entire life.
We also got... I didn't test my other screen. Let's see. Oh, hallelujah. All right, let me open it up.
All right, we're not leaking any stream keys. That's always a plus.
Right.
The most boring article ever. Bing is now Microsoft Bing as the search engine gets a rebrand.
What? 1 second.
So, quick
You're God.
PSA if that's something you're interested in. You're right over there.
Reset
Is my head cut off? Hey, there I am.
For some reason it Alright, so what is it? Is it the alt to... Yes. Let's get you back down to size.
Hey, I wonder if they can see that happening in real time, because that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, just let's make you my size. There we go. It's like nothing bad happened. Alright, let me grab that website. We're super prepared. Alright, so what's Bing doing?
Bing is being renamed as Microsoft Bing, just so that people associate the search engine with Microsoft. Because I guess people didn't realize that, and Microsoft wants to be
you being a computer
recognized.
Guy,
yeah.
Have you ever ran into someone who did not know that Bing was owned by Microsoft?
I've never run into anyone who actually uses Bing.
So, a lot of my customers use Bing.
But I can imagine the people who do use Bing don't realize it's owned by Microsoft.
But do they care?
No.
They don't.
But
why would you?
Microsoft wants that name recognition, I think, because that's the only reason I can see for them to rebrand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's some thinking people like Bing, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's wild. It's not really that big of a news story, I guess.
No, it's not. But it was the first thing I saw, and we were running low.
Yeah.
Or I had been searching for a while and didn't have anything.
And I never showed up. Yeah, so there's a screenshot where it says Microsoft Bing.
Yeah, it's something this week.
Right, something.
But this next article is pretty interesting. We've talked a little bit about Minecraft recently, and you had said that one of the things you wanted to be updated was the caves.
Yes. Or the trees.
Yep. Oh yeah, or the trees. We did mention the trees. And this is mainly caves and cliffs.
Terrain. Cliffs.
But also there's a modification to trees in there. So I watched the video over on, I guess it was on Minecraft's YouTube page, whatever's on this article. And And the first big point they had was they're adding biomes to the caves.
Oh, this is a long video. It's not like a 30-second video.
No, it's not. It's really long. I watched it at double speed. The first big thing is cave biomes. So there's a new lush cave biome, which has, let's see if I can find
stalagmites, stalactites. I think I found a little bit of a video at 12 minutes.
Let's see. Well, the lush cave biome has some new plants, and there's bigger caves and stuff, and underwater or water features in the caves, so there can be big pools of water in the caves. And they are adding stalactites and maybe stalagmites, maybe both of those. One of them's on the roof, one of them's on the ground. They've got a few new mobs. They've got the Warden mob, which will be in the deep dark underground biome. And this mob is actually blind. So it can't see you moving around, but it reacts to movements. So if you throw a snowball, if you shoot an arrow, or if you take a step, it can hear you and come at you. And it does quite a bit of damage from the video. They added some new resources. They added copper.
They added a telescope.
Yes. The telescope is constructed from copper and also crystals, which can be mined underground.
So, do you think people will actually use the telescope, or will they stick with Optifine?
Probably Optifine, I would imagine, because the only real reason I could see to use the telescope would be if it caused other chunks to be loaded, you know, so you could actually see further.
That's fair.
But I doubt they're going to do that for performance reasons, understandably. They didn't mention it in the video. There's a new redstone block, which also detects vibrations or movements. So if something steps in front of or steps around this block, or if a snowball lands near the block, it activates the redstone signal. But I would say the biggest thing that I saw was the changes to the biomes underground. So there's some massive caverns, and this is the warden that you're watching there right now.
That's pretty cool.
It takes a while for him to appear. And then they also are adding a goat mob, like a mountain goat mob, that'll wander around on cliffs. That was really the only change I saw to cliffs. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yep. There's another swimming mob that can actually be tamed.
Okay. Is it not that silver squid? What color was it?
The glow squid?
The glow squid.
No, it's not. It's a different, like, little small fishy-like creature. If you skip to about 44 minutes, it should be on there.
It's a 44-minute, 30-second video. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it on the left, that pink thing. Oh, I need to show you.
Yes. Yeah, the little pink fishy thing, and then there's the mountain goat in the middle, and then the warden on the right with no eyes.
Okay.
One of the clips they showed in this video was someone flying through the cave system, and it kind of reminded me of the Nether, actually. The way it was
did
big
look
and
like that.
cavernous, yeah.
I think that was at the 14-minute markish.
Yeah, it's
right
a long,
there.
yeah, that's it, yeah. Wow, you nailed that.
Yeah, thank you.
Complete luck, I'm gonna go with. But yeah, it looks like exploring caves will actually be pretty interesting. They also mentioned changing the way that ore spawns to be more of a what do they call it?
Not random.
In veins, yeah. Instead of random, some sort of vein structure, so you can follow a vein of a type of ore down the mountain. There's the stalactites and stalagmites. If you fall on a stalagmite, you get damaged, like you saw the zombie there. And there's a fair bit of talking as well.
There's a lot of talking.
There's the new redstone block. So if you place a block, it activates the block. Like if you place a block around it, it activates it. There's some wireless redstone.
Hallelujah. Finally. No more mods for that one.
Yeah. And
Now I'm super interested. Looks like it'll be fun.
ooh, and one thing that I also forgot, there's a new bundle item, which is kind of like a shulker crate, except rather than piling in, say, 9 stacks or however many stacks of an item,
Yeah.
you can put multiple types of items up to a certain amount in the bundle. So rather than having one of each flower taking up spots in your inventory, you can toss 64 different types of flowers into a bundle. And I'm not sure that it's 64 or how exactly that works. But you can toss multiple types of items in limited quantities into the bundle. So it doesn't expand your inventory, but it gives you additional slots, just not more actual items, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's me.
Yeah, and I'm not sure when this is going to come out. They didn't really mention a release date, but it's coming soon.
Here's a 36-second video
coming in
on
the
it.
future. The bundles?
Yeah.
So you can see he's got the bundle.
And then he just literally drops the log into it, and it just...
Yep.
So it is 64 from the looks of it. 64 logs
Okay.
filled it up, and 32 dirt, and 32. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and you can also pick it up and then move it along items, and you can see underneath it as well. It shows the items that are in it.
So can you fill a bundle full of bundles?
I don't know.
Put shulker
That
boxes,
would be
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's say my shulker boxes you can fit into a bundle. It would be
Yeah.
nice if you do it the other way, though, because the other way could make sense. You can put bundles into
Yeah.
shulker boxes.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I don't know. That's super interesting. It's definitely nice now that you can just fill it with flowers and you're not taking up 30 spaces.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if it only holds 64 items, no matter what items they are, a shulker box could hold every flower, and it could hold a stack of every flower. So you could have a bundle take up 1 space in your inventory and have a total of 64 flowers, or you have a shulker box take up 1 space in your inventory and hold 64 of every flower.
My guess is that the bundle is going to be a lot easier to obtain than a shulker box, especially early game.
That's true.
Like shulker boxes aren't hard to obtain, but it takes a little bit until you can get in and kill the Ender Dragon and get shulker boxes. So I think the intention is that bundles will not be as good as shulker crates. We've got another article.
Oh, they
Pixel
don't.
Pie.
Oh, go ahead.
What's up? Go ahead.
Oh, I just typed in Minecraft bundles to see how they were crafted,
Yeah,
and they have not released it yet.
gotcha.
How they're going to be crafted.
I would imagine it's maybe a few leather and maybe string.
That's what I would say. It was going to be 3 leather and a piece of string. So you have string on top, leather, and then leather below.
Yeah, which is not expensive at all, and also it kind of gives a purpose to cows, which is at least early game. Which
Milk
is nice. Yeah,
to make the cakes.
maybe they should give a purpose for cakes.
Food.
Decoration, maybe.
Right. It's a great floor block. Oh, these iPhones, man.
Shouldn't use them as a floor block. Wouldn't want to step on them.
Speaking of stepping on them, guess who cracked their screen today?
I'm guessing that guy right there.
Hey. Thankfully, I had a screen protector. So it's only $11.
So just the screen protector broke?
Just the screen protector.
Okay.
Scared the bananas out of me.
I believe it, because you only got that phone a few months ago.
Right? It's like brand new to me.
Yeah.
I think it would have cracked the screen if I had the curved edges, though. I don't know
Okay.
if you'd be able to see it. We don't want to show that. Right there in the bottom corner.
Okay.
But it barely hit the screen protector.
Yeah, that would be a bummer. My screen protector's been cracked for a while, and I haven't changed it because...
I'm ordering a new one as soon as we get off the stream. I eat dinner, take a shower. I'm ordering a new screen protector. That's the order of tonight.
Yeah.
So I saw this article here. Pixel 5 versus iPhone 11, comparing Google and Apple's $700 phones. So to start off on this, if we just Google Pixel 5 release date, because that's important to know, October 29th. So like it's coming up.
Okay,
As in
yep.
it's not released
Very
yet.
soon.
iPhone 11. You want to guess when iPhone 11's release date is?
TBD?
September 20th of last year.
Oh, wow.
We are comparing
So it's
last gen
been a year, yeah.
iPhone to this Pixel 5, which kind of confuses me why this article exists until you skip all of the text and go down to the spec sheet.
Okay.
I mean, you can read if you want, but I really don't care about any
Is
of
it
it.
pricing? Is that why they're comparing them?
I think so.
Yeah, actually, that's the title of the article. Comparing Google and Apple's $699 phones. So that's the reason. It's
Yep.
because they're priced very similarly. Or the same.
And so, to start it off, which I was super surprised about, the Pixel 5 actually has a better screen than the iPhone.
Okay.
And I'm going to have help reminding to start the stream next week because I am terrible at that.
And it's actually a somewhat significantly better screen.
It's like a lot better.
Or at least more pixel dense. It's got a lot more pixels for the screen space.
Double checking these keys. All right,
That's
so-
interesting to me that the iPhone 11 isn't even a full 1080p display.
And so that made me curious. iPhone, you can spell iPhone 11. Is it Retina?
Yeah, RETINA.
It says it's a liquid Retina HD display.
Okay. So theoretically, it's as good as your eyes can see.
For the average distance you hold your phone.
Yeah.
You can look up all that if you like.
Yeah.
So Google's destroying Apple on the screen resolution, essentially.
Mhm.
I think it's like 50% higher pixels. And then you go down to pixel density. It's like 326.
Obviously, that's higher as well.
Yeah,
And the
432.
pixel screen is slightly smaller, which makes that pixel density even higher.
Yep.
But not much smaller.
Yeah.
0.1 inch, 1/10 of an inch.
So then, like, it's 0.1 of an inch smaller diagonal, right? Because that's how you measure the screens. The dimensions in inches, though, is interesting.
Pretty significantly smaller.
Yeah, so like its thickness is 0.03 millimeters smaller, which Apple has bragged about, I'm sure, before, about shrinking their iPhone 0.2 millimeters or some silly number like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, both the height and the width of the phone is smaller by like at least 0.1. It's almost 0.2 on both.
Yeah. The pixel is smaller, that is.
Yeah. And so you think the screen to body ratio is better. I don't think they actually tell you the screen to body ratios. It's quite a bit lighter. And then same cameras, quality, super big air quotes.
Same video. 4K.
It did catch me off guard that the storages, Apple's like, here's 3 storage sizes. And Google's like, here's our storage size.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Apple's the one giving more options for once.
Right. Crazy. Battery, I would assume. I mean, Apple's pretty good with their batteries. Apple's battery is probably going to be better than 4,000 milliamps. 4,000, like, it's an average number, but it's not like crazy good. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that 4,000 is the number I would look at, but yeah, sounds right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, everything else pretty expected. I just thought it was hysterical that you compare phones. Yeah, the year-old model. It would be nice to see the iPhone 12 $700 version or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just like, this one costs $200 more, but it's the same, like,
generation or same
yeah, right.
year. Yeah.
Make it a little bit of a fair fight for them at least.
Yeah. Well, I think comparing the prices is fair enough. I'm not sure when the iPhone 12 is supposed to come out, but not totally sure if Apple is either. Oh, it says Tuesday, October 13th currently looks to be the most likely date for the iPhone 12 to launch over on Tech Radar. So, yeah, they could have compared the Pixel 5, iPhone 11, and maybe even thrown in the iPhone 12.
So here's an interesting one for you. Is how long do the manufacturers support their phones? Because that's a huge one when you buy a phone. It's like, how long could I use it if I don't crack my screen?
Yeah.
Right. So I Googled it really fast, and this blew my mind. For Apple, take a wild guess. So I thought 5 years. That's what I thought.
7 years?
Man, you're good. 7 years. Apple supports their phone for 7 years, which is wild to me. That's super long. And then I knew how long Google supported their phones because Linus just talked about it on the WAN show.
What is theirs? 5?
Embarrassing.
2?
3.
3 years?
They support for 3 years from the release date. So that makes this comparison a little more fair than if it gets an extra what's that math? 4 years of support.
Yeah. And comparing a year-old phone isn't that big a deal.
I don't know. Google's kind of selling me on an iPhone. You're not supposed to do that, Google.
But you know what we need before you can buy that iPhone?
Sponsors.
Sponsors. This video is sponsored by this guy over here.
I showed up.
Neptutech.com.
And this dude.
And this guy over here. Wrong way. There you go. jmartmedia.com.
My camera flipped. That's why.
Oh.
Transform.
Let's fix that real quick.
Flip vertical. Oh, other vertical.
Oh. Now your camera's really flipped.
There we go.
Hey, now we can look at each other.
Yeah, see, it makes it easier to point at you because I'm actually going to point at you. I was like, something's weird. Last time I update OBS. That's true. We need to actually make sure it's like the right stream we're streaming. Okay, it is. Cool.
Yep, I see Minecraft on there.
We're professionals. Speaking of professionals, this one I got a little bit of a story on, right? Thankfully,
Spotify will now let you search using lyrics so you can find that one song stuck in your head. A feature that some other music playing softwares have already had. I think the iPhone version already had it. What is it called? Apple Music. Yeah.
So I have an app idea for the one of us that can program programs to do things for us. It's Shazam, But
Mhm.
instead of being able to identify the song playing from like the radio or whatever,
Yeah.
you just sing into it, and then people sit there and and so it's like a community game type thing.
Mhm.
So like if you're like, oh, it's like a something about deep fried chicken and Jupiter and flying to the moon.
Mhm.
It's like da, 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 da. And then it'd be like, oh, let's drop the Jupiter by I think Train or whoever.
Train. Yeah.
Yeah, and people can
Yeah.
help you out with it, because that was the problem I had. I think it was Thursday night. I don't know. It was one of
Mhm.
the nights that existed a week ago or so, and
Yeah.
I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden the same like four notes kept appearing, and I was like,
Mhm.
it's something about a window seat in like the number A14 or A19 or something like that.
Mhm.
I stayed up for like an hour and a half. I ended up going back through my browser history because I remembered
Yeah.
I listened to it on Tuesday the week before,
Okay.
and I found it. I have no idea what the song is at the moment. Not a clue. I'd have to go back through my browser history.
Yeah. But
And
yeah, that's a good point. There's not really anywhere online you can ask about a song like that.
yeah, so like even now, if I just type into Brave, which is not what I
Mhm.
used to search before, if you do like A14 window seat song,
Sometimes it pops up and sometimes it doesn't. I'm guessing in this case.
it is not, because it pulls
It
up
probably
stuff like
doesn't.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a something. And if I could ever find it, oh, it's the song is actually 10,000 feet. Song. Nope, not that. 30,000 feet. I'll find it in a minute, but yeah.
And it could also be
There it is.
used if you had a song that was playing in the background somewhere and the audio wasn't clean enough to use Shazam or something.
Yep.
You could upload a clip of that to
Yeah, so it's
the community.
14A window seat.
Okay.
But for some reason my brain always says A14. Don't know why.
And if you were asking a community and they were familiar with the song, then they could identify that pretty quickly.
Well, that's what Jacob thinks about when he tries to go to sleep. So yeah, it's great to see Spotify adding a way to like search for lyrics. But I think it would be a super cool app. I don't know if I would even ever use it to help people though.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like
That's the thing. You've got to add some kind of point system or something that incentivizes people to.
yeah, some kind of a
questions.
gamified,
Yeah.
like a. Oh, they even have a TV show about that, don't they? Where they like to play a pop song and then they stop it and the person has to guess like the next four words.
Yeah.
Wayne Brady, I think, did it. But yeah, it was that idea where they would just play a song, and then they'd have people like truckers or
Hmm.
people who listen to the radio all the time. Come
Yeah.
on. Don't forget the lyrics. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I found it. But it was a really neat idea of a show.
Hmm. Yeah, or they could have you name the song or whatever. In this case, for this app idea, it would be naming the song and
Right?
probably the artist.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if there's a subreddit out there
Just
for
for
something
this.
like that. Identify this song or something,
There would have to be. There's a subreddit for everything.
right?
There's no way there's not. But yeah, it drove me up the wall trying to go to bed. And I was just sitting there scrolling through my browser history for like the last 3 weeks.
Hmm. And that brings us to our list topic.
It's the best list. I think you're going to be right because we are way past 20 minutes and list will get us that last 10 minutes to get us to that 40 you like.
All right, so I just played around on Reddit. There is a reddit.com/r/name that song, which has 107,000 members. So it's not a big subreddit, but it's enough, theoretically, to possibly help identify a song. It's got a few posts in the past 24 hours, so it's somewhat active. So no promises, but if you, viewer, have some song stuck inside your head, here's a place for you to possibly search for it. No promises, though. Not sponsored.
Yet.
It's
the keyword. It's an important keyword. But some important key features of Google Maps. I didn't know some of these were Google Maps features. I thought they were just like things everyone knew about Google.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. But Google Maps is more than just driving directions. 5 clever tricks to start using today. Which is kind of interesting because I use one of these for my business.
Okay.
Number 1. See how long the line is everywhere from Walmart to the DMV. So I didn't know this was in the Maps app, but it's definitely in Google if you type in a location.
Yeah.
I'm not going to type in a location while I'm on a computer live streaming, because that's a bad idea. But so like if you do, it'll have like a picture of the business, the name, and then it has like the phone number and the address and the website. And then it has something like this here. And it shows like when people most show up. And it shows up for my business too, which is super nice because I have like 5 years of data now on when most people show up. And it's like, most people don't show up today.
So if you have something that you have to do, you can close that day and.
But it's definitely accurate with the credit card processing and the ticket counts and everything. It's pretty darn accurate. But so that's feature 1 that I thought was not like a feature. I just thought everyone knew about it.
Yeah, I had definitely used that before.
It helps let you know if restaurants are good. Check out menus, photos, and customer reviews. So I knew about the photos and customer reviews because that's, I think, pretty simple, straightforward.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
The menu, though, most of the time they link you to a menu. We might be able to do this. I'm going to pull it off tab real fast. So if I type in...
I've seen pictures of menus before under the photos.
Yeah, like where they upload a picture of their menu, though?
Yeah, where a customer goes in and uploads a picture.
Yeah. Good thing I didn't share that on stream. Let's go, like, New York or something. How do you feel about New York?
Look for a pizza place in New York.
Found one.
Nice.
All right.
They have a menu.
Right. So then, so you get the picture here, and then like tells you the place and everything. They don't do dine-in. They do curbside, no contact. Good job, I guess. But then, so they have this, but it just links to the whatever website that they choose. And so a lot of small businesses just link it to like their restaurant menu.
Yeah.
I would have thought that it would like Google would have curated their own menu for it, but I guess I can see why they wouldn't. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, especially when different small businesses have their menu formatted differently on their website. Some places might just have a picture, some places might have a bullet pointed list.
Yeah. And so then here's the
PDF.
photos. And then almost always somebody uploads a photo of the menu.
Yeah. Sometimes there's photos of food, sometimes there's photos of the front of the business, which can make it easier to find, possibly.
Hey, look, the street view of it. You're right on. Did they have that picture in the article? Oh, it's very close. I
Wow.
was like, I thought I just saw that. Book a table or place an order for carryout or delivery. I read that about the hardest way possible. Book a table or place an order for carryout or delivery. Punctuation is a real thing. I've never once booked a table through Google Maps. I can say
Me
that with
neither.
confidence.
Yeah.
I'm okay calling a restaurant to book a table
Yeah.
if I really want to reserve one.
Yeah. That's one thing that I did not realize you could do through Google Maps.
In fact, I don't think I've ever placed an order for carryout or delivery through Google Maps. That's in either a phone call or a website thing that I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
It's interesting. Hey, Google Assistant. That was a bad idea. How'd you get on my iPhone? What? I spend my digital life. Da, 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 da.
I'm not quite. Oh, okay. There's a setting in Google Maps that lets you shove Siri to the side so you can have always on access to Google Assistant while navigating. So if you have an iPhone, generally they use Siri. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But if you want to use the Google Assistant while driving with the Google Maps app, there's a setting to do that.
On the downside, if you have Google Maps open while you're driving and you're playing Spotify through your car's Bluetooth, you can't just Mr. Siri, change the song, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Which means then you have people touching their phone while they're driving. Good job, yeah. Google. You're killing us all. But no, it is a neat little feature to have, being able to access Google Assistant while in Google Maps on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I think Apple should just let Google have full control of iOS.
Yeah, that's great for Apple's company business plan. Yeah. Next up, this one I obviously knew. I would hope anyone who ever uses Google Maps would know this.
I sure hope so, right?
You can find operating hours, phone numbers, and zip codes and more on the Google Maps app. I bet you can even find the address.
Do you think you find out where they're geolocated?
Let's hope so. It does say maps. And website, yeah, which we already mentioned.
There's some cool ones in there. A couple that caught me off.
Yeah.
So, one feature I would love to see in Google Maps is universal map sharing with route changes. So, if I sit at a computer and I build a route and I put little pin marks or somehow freeze it so the map doesn't automatically magically change without telling me, that would be fantastic. So I did a group motorcycle ride Sunday, whenever that was, yesterday, and I had curated the route on the computer, and then I sent that link off to several other people because any rider that wants a link for the map can have one. I find it super useful to be able to see the map to predict what's going to happen next,
when you're going to slow down, when you're going to turn.
Yep. And then it just tells you 17 miles till the next stop. So if your earbud comes loose under your helmet, you're like, I can live 14 minutes without music. Minutes. Yeah, whatever it is.
Whereas if you still got an hour left on the ride, then
maybe it'd be nice for people to just pull over real fast, adjust it, and jump right back on.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Google Maps decided to update the route. I think part of it was because I probably created the map this time.
At night.
Yeah. And then we were riding Sunday right after church. And so I think it decided, like, hey, this is a better route for you to take. And so it adjusted it a little bit. But then, like, as I was leading, I accidentally took the wrong left turn. So there was two right side by side. It was one of those weird intersections. And I took the second one. I was supposed to take the first one. And so my maps updated it and then just rerouted me. It'd be nice to know, though, that everyone behind me would reroute the same way. So it's like... because then all of a sudden we're not on the same map anymore because all of a sudden we all have separate.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, at some points, because at that point we had been remapped and I knew the back roads, which is pretty good to have, right?
Yeah.
I knew that it was going to take us on a road that had a little too much gravel on it for my personal taste.
Gotcha.
So I just ignored the Google Maps recommendation and turned off and turned over to get around the road. It'd be nice to have a way for me to, like, quickly, like, adjust route, and then everyone's phone in the group
By
adjusts.
the way, this is the way we're gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been an amazing feature. And there's clearly a way they can do it because you can share your route. I think I've done it with you before, where I was riding and...
Yeah, like current location.
Yeah. Because I've definitely done it with a couple people. Like, hey, I'm going to go out riding in the back roads by myself. If I don't show up for dinner, check this link.
Buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, if there's a way for you to share your map's location, there should be a way to share your route change with a group.
Yeah.
And that'd be a really neat feature, Google. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, none of us died. So, I mean, you can't ask for too much more. It's like...
No one died and no one actually got lost. So.
Right. Yep. That's pretty much it.
That's all I have.
We made it a whole 42.5 minutes.
Who called it?
You were right on, weren't you? I have to go back and check.
Pretty much.
I think you said 40 to 45 minutes.
I think it said 35 to 40 minutes. Or 35 to 45 minutes. Because I expected that the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs would last a little while. And then whenever you have a list, generally adds some time.
Man, we done good.
We done good. Next week we got to done good again.
I bet we can do it better with less topics next week.
But we'll talk about that next week.
We're going to talk about all